Welcome to Jamilla's Stamping Grounds. Today I would like to share with you the herringbone technique, which I have displayed on this panel here on the card. It's a great way to showcase Stampin' Up's Designer Series paper, or DSP, and or to use up any scraps you might have. As you can see, what we will need for this is some narrow strips of DSP. Approximately, some of them cut as 1/4 of an inch, some of them 3/8 of an inch, some of them about 1/2 an inch. And it usually works out really nice if you can pick from the same package of DSP because the colors are already coordinated for you. You'll need your adhesive and you'll need a piece of cardstock. As you can see here, I've already started to work on the design on this piece of cardstock. The first step that you will need to do is to take one of your strips and put it on an angle and adhere it across the piece of cardstock. That is the only strip you will ever put at an angle. The most important step in this technique is for the remainder of it, everything will be adhered at right angles. As you can see here, this strip and the edge are at right angles to create the right angle. This strip is adhered with the edge straight against the other edge of the strip to create the right angle. So once you've attached a couple of starter strips such as this is your skeleton that you will have to create the rest of the technique. So I have another piece that I have started to fill in the cardstock with the strips. So as you can see, what I have done here is start to work in this quarter that was left open of cardstock, and I'm attaching the strips at right angles. Now as you start to fill in the different pieces, you will need to trim off the edge of your cardstock where all of the strips might be. And so on like that. And that will give you a finished edge. So what I would like to do now is start to fill in another section here so you can see it actually being done. You can put some adhesive on, and then you can take a strip that has a straight edge and put it in directly at a right angle so that it matches right along the edge of one strip and the other strip, and adhere it down. Then you can change the variety. You can put narrow strips with thin strips and do whatever pattern you want to do that way with the DSP. Then you also want to change direction when you're adhering down the different types of DSP, and you want to now go in another direction at a right angle. Again, always at a right angle. And that change in direction is what gives you sort of the herringbone effect that you're going to put. Now, let's say you want to put another piece on that you've used, but it has a angle or edge that's not straight, as you see here. This one is not straight. It has been cut off from the other side, so you can't use it until you actually make a straight edge. You can use your trimmer or scissors, what you're most comfortable with, and then put it in and adhere it. So you can continue to reuse your strips as you need. You continue with this technique, filling in all of the empty spaces you have of your cardstock until you're eventually done, and then you're left with your finished panel. As you see here, I used it on the card. So that's the herringbone technique, which is great for using up leftover scraps of DSP or Designer Series paper. Thank you for joining me today at Jamilla's Stamping Grounds.